In America, everyone counts, and the 2020 census is how that great promise is kept. Respond today online, by phone, or by mail, and help inform hundreds of billions in funding for education, health programs, and more. Shape your future. Start at 2020census.gov. All right, folks, let's talk about, we want to talk about technology, how technology exposes liars. Now, y'all know how many times on this show we've talked about police officers who've been busted for lying, saying certain things happen. Well, remember when the Toronto Raptors won the NBA title? And remember this white cop, Alameda County Sheriff's Deputy Alan Strickland. He came out and he said that he was shoved and he had head damage and face damage and all this stuff when he got shoved and assaulted by Toronto Raptors president Masai Ujiri. That's what he said. He even filed a lawsuit in February against the Raptors president. Well, yesterday, the attorneys for the Raptors president released this body cam footage. I know. Now, here's what you're seeing here, folks. This is not, go full screen. Go full screen. Don't go to me. No full screen. This is the one angle here. You're about to see right here. Okay, you see the cop right there. All of a sudden, you're going to see him come out, the Raptors president. He's about to, that's him. He's about to pull out his credentials to show to the officer. He's walking. The officer pushes him in his chest, and then twice. Then different folks grab the officer and say, hey, man, this is the brother of the president of the Raptors. Your jury pushes him back after he got pushed twice. After he got pushed twice, okay? All right, so and so you see all the media, all these people come over. Now, remember, he was coming out to celebrate with his team winning the NBA title. You see the brother who grabbed him, again, trying to let him know that, no, he is okay. All right. You see the officer still there. Somebody is talking to that particular officer. Now, that's one of the video. Did we have the other video? Okay, I'm gonna pull it up because I think the other video actually, folks, is a better video because what you're gonna see in this other video, let me see if I can pull it up on my iPad here. The other video is quite interesting because it actually is Strickland's body camera footage. His actual body camera, which gives you a better indication because you can even hear what Strickland says to your jury. Okay, so let's see here. Let's see if I can play this video right here. Let's see here. Watch shoving match. So let me try to pull this up. So we played you that wide video. And going to pull up 1 second. Bring up my panel, please. Lauren, I'm going to start with you. We keep talking about these cases where these cops fill out reports and they lie and they say certain things happen, but then all of a sudden the truth comes out. Now, here's the piece right here. So I'm about to play this video. This is the body camera footage from the cop. Guys, turn the audio up as well. I want y'all to hear what was said. Watch this. All right. I'm going to roll that back again. So this is, actually, you know what, let's let this roll. We already played this video, but there are three different angles that I want you to see, and they're going to zoom in on that other angle, and you're going to see this video. And again, it shows you, first of all, the video, he pushes your jury, curses him out, says, get the F back, pushes him a second time before your jury then pushes him back. And so all these folks ran with the story ran with the story. You'll see it. So I just showed you the body camera footage of the cop. This is the security footage from the Golden State Warriors. And in Strickland's lawsuit that he filed, he alleges that Ujiri assaulted him. That you see this here. Pushes him in the chest once, words with him, pushes him a second time, and then he gets pushed, never falls down. He just gets pushed in the chest. In the lawsuit, the Strickland said, quote, he suffered injury to his body, health, strength, activity, and person, all of which have caused and continue to cause plaintiff great mental, emotional, psychological, physical, and nervous pain and suffering. Remember, the Alameda County Sheriff initially wanted the Raptors president charged with battery of a police officer, and the sheriff, Lauren, claimed that Ujiri struck Strickland in his jaw and shoulder. But the DA office declined to press charges.
Yeah, why not? Why not charge him with the Kennedy assassination? I mean, you basically, everybody implicitly knows what the rules are. The police understand, they say something, right? I mean, they know that. They also know that a white person accusing a black person of something, inherently, they're going to be believed. So write up a, civil court case or criminal court case and you pile stuff on. And generally speaking, the media, this is the other thing they understand, another sort of unwritten rule that's obvious to everybody. The media is going to believe the police. And what the police say and what they put out there is going to become the narrative of the story. And I mean, believe the police without checking anything. So you're just quoting this authority that told you that this happened this way. And, frankly, in most civil situations where you have someone that puts their hands on you, you have the right to engage. The minute that he pushed him like that, that was assault. So now, Ujiri could have engaged him with equal force. But because he's in a special class, Strickland, my God, if he had done that, then we would be talking, in most jurisdictions, you get a lot of jurisdictions, you get a mandatory sentence if a cop says that he was assaulted by you.
So check this out, Robert. Check this out. So this is from the Bleacher Report story. The Alameda Police Department recommended battery charges against Ujiri after the alleged altercation. The DA's office declined. Quote, Mr. Ujiri attended a meeting with the district attorney's office focused on matters that we believe merited constructive, structured mediation and conflict resolution and were better handled in a setting outside the courtroom, according to the Alameda District Attorney's Office in October 2019. Let me translate that, Robert. We saw the body camera footage. That SOB was lying, so we are not trying to look like some damn fools, and so this thing is going to end right now.
Well, look, Roland, there's a reason the police reports are not admissible in court. I've had many cases like this, and unfortunately, as an African-American male, unless you have a drone or you have footage of you 24 hours a day, you aren't given the benefit of the doubt. And we hear from the Laura Ingrams of the world, shut up and dribble. You're a millionaire. Why are you even worried about these issues of Black Lives Matter and police brutality? Because guess what? If nobody knows who you are just some tall black dude who has to be subdued like any other black dude, and they treat you with that exact same level of respect, which is none at all. So Mr. Ujiri, not only should this case be dismissed against him, now he has the right to countersue this officer. This is part of the reason that I think many of us have been going after sovereign immunity and unqualified immunity so hard, because I think that not only should he be able to sue the officer, he should be able to go after his pension fund, go after his retirement fund, go after his Roth IRAs, go after his children's college fund, go after his car, go after his vacation house. I think that's the only way you send the message to law enforcement, because when we talk about criminal justice reform, we're not simply talking about police shootings. We're talking about the interactions between the African-American community and law enforcement. And until and unless we are willing to deal with these systemic issues, we will continue to see the continued indignities against African-American men in this country.
See, Brandon, you're you're elected official, and this is, look, you're a county commissioner. Check this out. Again, this is the line that Lauren talked about, and we always talk about by these damn police departments. Go back to my iPad. The Alameda County Sheriff's Office initially stated Ujiri didn't have any credentials on hand when he was stopped by Strickland, though videos later showed that Ujiri, in fact, had his credentials in his right hand. The officer later said he didn't have the right credentials to get onto the court. Ujiri had a red badge, it claimed, but required a purple badge and gold armband. It gets better. It gets better. The Alameda County Sheriff's Department also said that Ujiri hit Strickland with 2 fists and struck him in the jaw. It said it had video proof. This is where the county officials in Alameda County should say, yo ass fired, yo ass fired, yo ass fired, and you fired. All y'all were lying because all they had to do was not listen to this lying ass white cop, but play his body camera footage, and that would have showed you everything.
Yeah, I think the only thing they left out was that he was 6'8", 450 pounds, right?
And amped up on ecstasy.
Exactly. So this is the struggle I think that Robert was alluding to of what it means to be black in America. We always have to justify us being there, whether that's Trayvon Martin or whether it's the president of a major basketball organization. And it's not just saying that these folks have to be fired. What I would challenge this particular county to do is what we're doing. We're re-examining the role of policing and incarceration as a whole in Cook County. We spend more money on policing and jails and incarceration than we do on healthcare. And so this is not just simply about an individual, right? Though we know we have some bad actors and some individuals that are part of institutions. But this is also about an institution that protects this. And so the county has to challenge these institutions. And the way you do it, I believe this is what Robert was getting at and what you're getting at, Roland, is that you have to challenge the resources. And it's egregious that we are policed, we are surveilled, and even when you have this type of video, they still lie, right? And so I believe that our role in this moment is to bring out policy and push forth budgets that make sure that we're prioritizing people's interests. And people's interest has to be about their ability to live and thrive and grow. So this is wrong. It's a clear example of what brutality looks like in real time. And we have to make sure as elected officials that we're challenging those systems in a way that examines those individuals' budgets. Because the Toronto Raptors or whomever other stadium is holding these major venues, those institutions are paying those individuals to be in those spaces, those police officers. That's coming out of their budget, or it's coming out of the county budget. Why are we investing our budgets into systems that continue to brutalize us, whether we're wearing a hoodie or a shirt and tie?
But to Lauren's point, and Lauren, this is the real issue, and that is this. Whenever something happens, the public immediately believes the cops. And the other problem here is that the cops backed up this lying-ass white cop. What the Alameda County Sheriff's Department should have said is, we will wait until we examine the body cam footage to determine what happened. Nope, they immediately believed the lie, and what this white cop did is what cops always do. They lie, they make it up, and they run with it, and the sheriff or the police chief will run right out to the cameras and back up that lie, and then later, Laquan McDonald, same thing. And that was even worse because not only did they lie, they then try to cover up the lie. They went to the Burger King and erased the video footage was there, then tried to hide that dash cam video, and they were backed up by Rahm Emanuel and a city office who fought the release of the video, and it was only released when some media reporters were able to get it released. That's how the system protects lying cops.
Well, at least on that one, the consciousness of guilt told them, let's hide the video, right? This dummy, Strickland, knew that the video existed of him assaulting your jury and went for the lie anyway. I mean, you would think that, and that shows you the level of arrogance, because you would think in the back of Strickland's mind, he would have said, well, you know what? I know I pushed this guy twice for absolutely no reason. He's reaching his jacket to take his credential out, and I made a big deal out of this and made a fool out of myself. So let me not get into a big thing. The fact that he knew that lying was going to work for him, the fact that he knew he could effectively make up any story he wanted to and get away with it, sort of tells you all you need to know about the legacy of what it is to be African American in this country when it comes to effectively the fact that you never get the benefit of the doubt. I actually think this doesn't just extend to law enforcement people lying about African Americans. I just think that people implicitly know that if I lie about you and you're African American, I am going to be believed over you if I'm not African American. I mean, it's an unwritten, obvious fact. So this guy is a guy in a suit and a tie, and the other thing too that we don't really talk about that much is the fact that there's a resentment there that nobody talks about. You're a security guard or a sheriff or somebody doing security at one of these games. This is a multi-million-dollar business. You're watching African-American males make multi-millions of dollars, very popular, they're entertaining. You're the lower person on the totem pole. And that's not the way it's been in America for 400 years. And unless you're an athlete or an entertainer, it's generally not the case. And I think there's a resentment that builds up that leads to these types of moments, quite frankly.
Well, again, my whole deal here is, first of all, your jury is countersuing. I hope he countersues his ass in a huge way. And again, I keep saying this, and I don't care. It should be stated in any one of these departments. If you lie in a statement, you lose your job. All right, folks, back to our Roland Mark Unfiltered video in just one moment. As our community comes together to support the fight against racial injustice, I want to take a second to talk about one thing we can do to ensure our voices are heard. Not tomorrow, but now. Have your voices heard in terms of what kind of future we want by taking the 2020 census today at 2020census.gov? Now, folks, let me help you out. The census is a count of everyone living in the country. It happens once every 10 years. It is mandated by the U.S. Constitution. The thing that's important is that the census informs funding, billions of dollars, how they are spent in our communities every single year. I grew up in Clinton Park in Houston, Texas, and we wanted new parks and roads and a senior citizen center. Well, the census helps inform all of that and where funding goes. It also determines how many seats your state will get in the U.S. House of Representatives. Young black men and young children of color are historically undercounted, which means a potential loss of funding for services that helps our community. Folks, we have the power to change that. We have the power to help determine where hundreds of billions in federal funding go each year for the next 10 years. Funding that can impact our community, our neighborhoods, and our families and friends. Folks, responses are 100% confidential and can't be shared with your landlord, law enforcement, or any government agency. So please, take the 2020 census today. Shape your future. Start at 2020census.gov.